just give you one.
They'd like to sit on the floor.
We're out there. It's like a never-ending.
There's one here.
Got a chair right here. Got a chair right there.
Oh yeah, she.
Oh, it's a chair right here.
There's you. Girl, I traded with. Did you want to sit here?
And thank you to the gentleman that gave up his chair so we can get off.
There you go.
Honestly, I think he went to the back.
Everybody else got one more chair here.
Oh, if they leave that door open though.
Right,
I can't. And if they play music, I can't put on music. What are you doing?
Okay, let's get started. Welcome everyone to Botcon 2023. Right now we're going to do our Beast Wars panel, and we have some very special guests here who I've already introduced, but I'm going to do it again for the people that came in late. So, starting over here to the left, we have Terzo. We have Sue Blue. We have McNeil. And the always awesome Gary Shaw. So we're going to do, this is a Q&A panel. Gary alluded earlier, please, if you're asking a question, please be as clear and concise as possible. I'm going to hand you a mic so you can be heard, and we're going to go ahead and get started. I guess we can just do a little talk amongst ourselves, and let's talk to the crowd.
Who wants to go first?
Well, hello. Okay, I just want to say a big thank you to the organizers of Botcon, and a very special thank you to all the volunteers who have made this weekend very special. And I know how tired and how crazy it's been, but I just want to say a big thank you to them, and a very big thank you to all of you for being here today.
That was beautifully said. Now, could you do it one more time? And just give me a little bit more energy. Sure.
Sue, are you voice directing?
I can't help it. Yeah, thank you, you guys. I mean, the reason that we're here is because of you guys. There's no way we would be here without you wanting us to be here. So, thank you. I'm very humbled and grateful.
They say in this industry, sincerity is everything. Once you've learned how to fake that, you've got it made. I mean, you guys, everything you say is true. And by the way, Sue has been making all three of us jump through hoops for like decades. You are my favorite director, and I've said that a million times.
I love you, Scott.
This is amazing. We've been doing this for a while. Yeah. I mean, use words properly. I mean, you guys being here is astonishing. I'm looking out right now and I'm going, I've met most of you already. And even through my scrambled brain, I'm actually remembering some names, which is rare. You guys are like sparkly and shiny and amazing. And the energy when you walk into a place like this, it's got that kind of energy. It comes whipping off the dance floor, and it hits us sitting at our tables, and it's better than coffee in a whole freaking world. It's like amazing.
What he said.
With a louder, bigger voice. No, I again iterate. I think this is Botcon's first trip to Rutherford, New Jersey, and I think they've done a bang-up job. And well done, bravo, kudos to all you guys out there. And so thankful for all you people out here who make it possible for us to be here. And so I say thanks again. And what he said.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and open it up for questions. I want to go down before you think for a minute.
Look, there's a hand that came up first.
He's gonna burst, I actually saw him
Bit of a keener.
Just went down here with you.
He's still got his hand up.
Get back up.
Yeah, we'll see what sounds you make when you get back up now.
What do you think would happen if Waspinator got like upgraded, like became transmetal or something like that?
You mean like got upgraded to like be in the new movie kind of upgrade?
Like the upgrade that Optimus Primal got when the transmetal wave hit?
Not even bother worrying. Waspinator get transmetal upgrade. Guess what happens? Universe reigns on the Waspinator rusts.
Any thoughts about the transition back then from regular animation to more 3D animation? Did it shift at all, or you just saw a character on the screen, it's the same technique?
I really love 2D animation. I really love the old-fashioned animation, and I think the very first show, scold me if I'm wrong, that they did 3D with was Reboot. You know, it got better as time went on, and I think Transformers was a very new show to 3D. And what was great about it was, you know, we were all robots. In 3D animation, in the beginning, if you notice the hair, they could never get the hair. You know, I mean, it was crazy. So, I mean, I just love 2D animation, but I think it's really opened up because of 3D. And they can really animate quite a lot quicker. So that's my thought on it.
Kind of from our point of view, it didn't make any difference as far as working in the studio. Except, you know, we had to act in 3D, which is
That's why we were all together.
she for those of us who tend to live in the fourth dimension anyway. But, yeah, it's just that, I mean, Reboot was the first one, and you think how much CG has progressed in such a short amount of time. I mean, it was the same guys. I don't know if anybody heard the Dash Creates Money for Nothing music video. That was the same guys that started Name for Name started doing. So we did Reboot, we did Weirdos, and well, actually, I think Beach Boys was the second.
Yes.
Yeah, Beach Boys.
But what made it, I mean, straight up what made Beast Boys such an outstanding series was the writing. And that was Larry and Bob. And a lot of, you know, we've been doing a lot of, we started kind of like, we're involved in something special here. We didn't know how special it was going to be. Not hockey hump special, but like, so it was one of the first North American style shows that we had done with an ensemble cast where it wasn't like, okay, 22 minutes of fun adventures, and we're going to save the universe, and we're going to pay a stay at the end and sell some action figures. You know, the storyline, the 3-year storyline of Beast Wars was extraordinary. We got to go along in that journey. The other thing that was cool, because it was so hands-on, was, you know, they were there, the people that were doing the designs and the animation and everything were coming into the sessions, so the characters got to grow a lot more organically because of that interaction and because of the animation style. They were able to, like, Waspinator was originally a pretty straight-ahead bad guy. You know, and then Doug and I monkeyed around with the voice and came up with this thing, and then the writers started going, like, he was an idiot, man. But I remember when we saw the first episode,
Yeah.
it was just like, oh God! Because there was little things when Megatron went, and his little hand, it was like, I get goosebumps with that. It was brilliant. You know, when I first saw Rat Trap, I wanted, it's exactly, I was talking moving in the studio, except he didn't grab his crutches. And so they were able to capture the nuances. And what animation is to me, the greatest of animations, is not making something move, right? Anybody can make the jaws and the mouth and the face of it. Animation is breathing life into it. Like Chuck Jones, I think, was the greatest animator of all time. Because he could do more with his characters with a blink of an eye, just like beep, beep. You know, Bugs Bunny going to all the Warner Brothers. There was so much life, and the mainframe guys got to do exactly that through a computer, but not make it seem like it was generated by a computer, because they put the life into the characters. Every bit as much as we did, every bit as much as the writer did. And it was stunning to watch for us. This is the first time. It was just
I'm going to go back to the back for a second. And then work my way up.
I just want to add one thing. It was the actors, though, because the tracks were done before the animation. So when those animators came in to watch a session, these actors had to be brilliant. These actors had to be really good to give the animators the ideas to be able to animate to the dialogue track. So kudos to you guys.
Add through onto that, just because people ask all the time, you know, they said there's this idea that we just kind of stand there in front of the microphone with our hands in our pockets. And with the exception of the esteemed Ian James Corlett, who in fact does stand there with his hands in his pockets, and yet delivers these ridiculously amazing animated performances, people that have come in and watched are surprised at how physical it actually is. Like, we're usually about speaking theory, a bunch of monkeys in the studio. And people come just like, is it always like that? It's like, oh yeah, you only got one thing to channel the whole performance through. But that whole performance has to be there. You're not standing there doing a voice, you're doing a character. So that's inside information.
I love the way that every character had a gesture. I remember Tarantulas, Alec Willows. She was always a...
I had to stand next to him. It was so creepy. I feel unclean still.
Gestures. When he was playing Silver Bolt, it was always... strike that and go, I love you, Black Roger. It was very bizarre, but you know, where did that relationship go? Now that's the one thing I loved about recording ensemble in the studio, is because the performances became very organic. You feed off of each other. You're not just trying to guess what the other person's going to say or how they're going to react. They just react the way they would in a moment, like in real life on camera acting.
Especially tarantulas who would literally try to feed on you.
I know. And you just, hi. Anyway, there was a question way in the back.
I just wanted to add to that. Sue really helped us a lot, because when we first started recording Beast Wars, we would do line by line, right? And then as time progressed and as you got to know us better and our characters, we got to do scenes. Remember, you let us run the scene, which was really cool because it gave us a chance to not just do like one line at a time, but actually run the scene and play the moment, and it was a lot of fun.
I got to do scenes with myself. Everybody else would just leave.
And when that happened, we all had to leave the room.
So Scott's got one of his scenes.
Now this poor guy is just sweating bullets here trying to get this question.
So, if there's going to be a sequel to Rise of the Beast, do you think they're going to add Rat Trap, or like, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, but it'd probably be voiced by Taylor Swift. They may not have the best interests of the franchise at heart, is all I'm saying.
It could be John Leguizamo as well. So.
Yeah, you know,
I'd be okay with that.
so would I. It's like, that's an incredible actor.
Yes.
Would I do it? Yes. Would I ask a lot of money? Yes. Would I end up doing it for free? Probably.
Hi, was the G1 connection always planned, like from the start, or did it like pop up somewhere along the line?
Yes.
We are simply finding all the answers to your question.
The G1 connection.
I mean, like, you know, they ended up finding, oh, this is actually Earth millions of years ago. Oh, dang, there's the Ark, all that. Was that like eventually leading up to that plan from the beginning, or did it end up coming?
I think it evolved. It didn't happen at the beginning because we were coming from a completely new place. We're looking at 20 years difference between generation 1 and ours. But then it slowly evolved, and so that timeline came into play, as far as I know.
Someday they'll find us, the G1 connection. And robots and me.
We're gonna do that. Reboot the musical. No. Transformers the musical.
Yeah.
Or for Star Trek.
Or for Rat Trap the musical.
Yeah! Yeah! Rat trap on ice.
Okay, we have the microphone.
Where is it?
He who has the mic speaks.
Hi, so my question's for Scott. What was it like going to party?
Slow down, speak clearly.
I heard him.
So my question's for Scott. What was it like having to argue with yourself as Rat Trap and Dinobot?
Oh no.
You know how sometimes there's things that are on the inside that you don't see, but then you get to see them on the outside and you realize what it's like on the inside? Yeah, it's that. One more insight back to firm. You might really take care of your old-fashioned way. Well, tell me, you wanted to see you try it there, Dino Boo. Or should I say, I know, shut up, Rat Trap. I'm afraid of it was, but it is whole time. And then, of course, someone would step in and say, citizens, I am strong, proud, brave, fast, dumb as a sack of hair. I remember when I used to see faces out there, now you just see phones.
Hi, so Dinobot started the Stone Age, so thank you.
Yes.
So in my office, also there's a fire truck and a gorilla, which is not a monkey, it's not even a bird, because monkeys have tails. So how do you guys feel about like the controversy of these swords when it came?
Truck, not monkey.
Yeah.
Don't look up truck versus monkey ever again.
Well, firstly, I like them both. I like the truck and the monkey. Because they're cool.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's a trunky. Informationally, you're absolutely correct. Monkeys do not, in fact, have to. You know what's weird? Honestly, when Beast Wars came out, or Beasties, if we had to call it in Canada, you know, it came out and there was an immediate sort of knee-jerk backlash reaction from Gen 1 fans. I mean, kind of rightly so. This was like very, but it was neat because it didn't take long for the writing to take effect and people started going, oh, wait a minute. This is good. Yeah. People kind of started to come aboard, and it was neat to watch.
You guys did a lot of episodes and a lot of really good scenes and things together and so on. I want to ask, was there ever an episode that you did where you were like, this is so good it needs a sequel, why are we doing this? Or was it an episode you're like, I want more of this specific storyline or story arc? And you're kind of sad that it had to end it in 22 minutes and you didn't get the follow-up. Besides just a fourth season, obviously.
Well, you know what? I've got to be quite honest with you. When Dinobot was killed, it killed me. I thought there was so much more, there was so much dimension and growth to that guy's character. He could have gone on a lot further, but no, he had to die in that painful episode, and that was one thing that I'd like to have seen extended further and further. And I don't also, with myself, well, I just go along for the ride, that's all.
At the time, you just said, thank God he's gone.
Well, there was that.
While we're being nice to each other, thank you. I've watched Code of the Year a couple of times now, because I hadn't seen it until I went to my first Botcon, and people were like reacting, and I watched it, and I was like, God, he was right. And the show was so good that we were able to, like, I became a fan of the show. I would just watch it. It had nothing to do with the fact that we were in it. But your eulogy for Dinobot, it kills me every freaking time I've watched it. I just pump up and I start crying like a baby. It's so beautifully delivered, it's so beautifully written. And that's all you, buddy. If I happen to be dead now, Gary's doing my room.
I gotta say, putting, I don't know if it was a blessing or a curse to lose Dinobot, because having him in depth charge on the same show, somebody would have chose violence.
My question is mostly a design question, as I've also heard a lot of people debate this. I know that Optimus Primal also has the mask where he can remove it. Do you think it would be better if Optimus Primal kept the mask on all the time, or do you think having the big blue mouth was fine? And what was the side trying to give him big lips? So,
well, I'll tell you, with the mask on, it's easier for foreign countries to do ADR. Because there's no lip flaps to match. But, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the old dog's mouth. I mean, what the hell? He's worthy. Why should I get off so easy? Why should other foreign actors get off so easy? Let them match mine. That match theirs often enough.
Man, screw the Band-Aid.
That's right.
No masks for Optimus.
That's right.
So when it comes to doing voices in any character in any show, do you guys have, can you hear me?
I can hear you, I just don't know where you are.
Right there.
I mean, sometimes I hear voices from them.
How often is it room? But when you guys are choosing voices for your characters in any show, how much is the director looking for a specific voice and how much is it your choice? And how do you pick them?
Yeah.
Well, first off, I'd like to do with when Sue Blue here, who directed, chose me for Optimus. I was originally going to be Megatron, but they thought that somehow that David Kaye would be a better Megatron and I would be a better Optimus. And I remember you telling me, okay, make it warmer, make it more, not stern, but fatherly. Make it this, make it that, and adding all these things until we finally came to a point where he became a mammalian, an organic human, basically a human.
He was perfect.
And it turned out apparently perfect. But that's for that character. A lot of times you'll get a drawing, and you'll look at it and you'll get a sort of a character sketch. And you look at the physicality of the character. What kind of a voice? Is he got a big voice, a little voice? Is he scrawny and thin, or big and fat? Does he have an accent? Is he mean, or is he nasty? Whatever. Does he have teeth? Does he have big jowls, or no, or whatever he has, or she has, and or they today. And you look at it and you say, well, even though it's a cartoon, it still has attachment to the real world. And the important thing about any character is that we as an audience have to care about that character. And the only way that we care is if what comes out of you as an actor is honest and for real, because even though it's a fantastic character, they live in this fantastic world, but in that world, they're real, right? And that world is real to them. So if you make it real to you, then we as an audience listen to you and go, oh, yeah, Okay, I like that, because what's the worst thing that can happen to an actor in an animated production is for someone not to care about it. You know, if you're a bad guy, we really hate you. Yes, I'm doing my job. If we really love you. Yes, I'm doing my job. We feel for you. It's all those attributes, and they come partially out of the how you analyze the voice for yourself, and it's kind of an organic connection between you and the director, and of course the creators of the characters as well. So that's my take on it.
What I was going to say. As I understand, the greatest voice actors in the world that have ever existed and probably will ever exist, I mean, I say it all the time, it's not blank, and I say this all the time, is that they never, ever created a voice. Because, you know, anybody can create a voice. They always 100% created a character.
Yeah.
A character. Even though my therapist tells me the rabbits don't talk, screw you, they do too. As far as creating the voices coming up, because I know you specifically asked about this, there's like sometimes you will get a ream of information of exactly what the producers want. Sometimes it's too much. Because it's usually like, oh, we're sure thinking kind of this, but it also has to be that. We want to have the qualities of water and color, but it should sound more like. Sometimes you did nothing. I said what Gary says, I work personally off a picture. If I see a picture of a character, I get a fairly clear idea of what's happening. What used to happen in the days of going into audition, and there would be casting directors there, even before you got to work with the directors, somebody when it becomes your, I'll cite from what I know, when I went into it, Doug Parker was the one that did the casting on Beast Wars, who also played Terzo. I went into audition for this thing, and, you know, reading for all the characters, as I do. So we came to Waspinator, and it's like, okay, Waspinator is just a pretty standard bad guy, right? And so I kind of doing my thing. Sometimes I'll, you know, go like, okay, that's what you guys think you want to hear. Sometimes I'll go, well, I got an idea you want to try, or don't say what you just did sucked, but what else you got? So you come up with those stuff. But Doug went, you know that little bubble voice you do? And I'm like, I want a prince. And he's like, yeah, do that, but he's a bad guy. I was like, oh, okay, that's an interesting idea. Oh, so I took that voice and started to go, okay, you know, he's a credit card, and then I'm like, look at it, he is a boss. So we put kind of, and he just started throwing ideas at me, and I started bouncing ideas back and forth, and within like 5 minutes, oh, you come up with Waspinator, and Waspinator was story. And then we started working with the and it was like, you know, again, as soon as I'm bored, we're like, you're an idiot, why don't we make your character dumber? It is in a perfect synergy, like a perfect storm, that's how it should be, and it's wonderful to be in that perfect storm, because it's all this creativity comes together, and then every now and then lightning strikes and you get a character that just lands. It is so much fun.
And the secret of finding the right actor to play the role, I probably listened to 50 Waspinators, you know? And the secret is, when you go into audition and you're looking at the character design, you're trying to figure out the voice. What can I do to get this part? What can I do that's going to be right on what the, you know, fulfilling the writer's intention? That's our job as an actor. What colors can I bring to the character that are real, that are from my gut and heart? And how can this character be different than the 49 other people auditioning for this role? That's the ingredients, guys. And Scotty had that with Waspinator. You're welcome.
For me personally, I ditto to everything everyone's on the panel. It's a visual. Like initially, you get the character, the drawing of the character, you look at it, you study it, and you're like, okay, trying to figure out exactly what the director, the producers, the creators want. Then you get your sides. So you run over your sides, and then depending on the show that you're working on, some ask for real life sounding voices, so they want your own voice, right? So you don't even have to create a character voice. Sometimes they want it cartoony. Sometimes it works. Depends on what works for the character. When you go in, you have an idea of what you're capable of doing and what you do in the audition. But if you're lucky enough to have a director in the room, they can, offer their advice and tell you, oh, try it like this or try it like that, which gives you, more of an opportunity. And I think that that's where the magic happens, is not only that you coming into the room, but connecting with the director or the casting director or whoever's auditioning you, so that they bring out the best qualities in your voice or the best, idea of the character.
One thing that really stuck with me with Soup Lou, I love this one. Word of mouth. Is that book? Word of mouth?
That's the book.
The book. She wrote this book called Word of Mouth about voiceover, voicing, and I've actually used it many times. I love that book. And one thing that's always stuck with me over the years, people say, well, how do you manage to do all those different voices and try that? And I said, well, I watched her. And one day she goes, we have all kinds of different voices in us. We have the voices that are at the top of our head, into our nose, from your mouth, the middle of your mouth, the back of your throat, down into your chest. Now, a little bit of gravel to that, to every one of those. And then your nose, your eyes, your top of your head. Have a speech impediment of some sort. Change the shape of your jaw. And all of a sudden, you've got like 20, 30 characters that you can play with. Well, 20, 30 foundations that you can play with. And it's stuck with me for years. Every time you do that, she does this thing where it takes every resonator in your body. It's all the way through it. It's pretty amazing to watch.
I sometimes can't understand when a producer or a network executive, and by the way, Venus mentioned sides. Those are the audition. It's like a paragraph that they have to impress with, like a little paragraph sometimes. But when a producer or an executive says to me, okay, here's what we want, Susie, we don't want anybody cartoon. We want like real voices. Well, you know what? That's BS. Because what they want is they want somebody that is multi-dimensional and interesting and quirky. They want a really good actor. So, when they say we don't want, Musprenator, that's about as cartoony as you can get. But it's brilliant because it's a full-dimensional character.
And we love him.
Black Ratfield is a full-dimensional character. But she's a good actress. You look at the old films. If you're interested in becoming a voiceover actor or even an actor, try to look up the old black and white Betty Davis films.
Long
for the guy, Tracy, Spencer Tracy. Look at these films. Humphrey Bogart. They were cartoon, but they were real. So I always think that producers and executives don't know what they're talking about when they say, we don't want cartoony voices. I know what they're looking for. So there.
Yes.
I'll probably never work in this town again.
I don't think that Robert Mitchum said that.
Again, because he is the best waspinator in the world.
Hi.
Okay,
That's
question.
right.
I have an interesting question for Scott McNeil.
How interesting.
Yeah. Say if Dinobot was alive in Beast Machines, how do you think he would react when he found out that Vermin is dating a transforming plant?
You're giving me great buzz for thoughts. What we Dinobot think of, oh boy, this never happens. What can we talk about? Got a lifetime serum. whole freaking time. We were a little confused, or at least I'm speaking for myself, with Beast Machines. Because, I mean, first of all, I thought the design of the show, the aesthetic of the show was astonishing. Especially from Rat Trap's point of view. It was like, okay, I'm no longer a tiny little mouse. I thought you looked dope. But the writing, we never really sure what was happening. Because they didn't give us any, so, you know, if we'd known maybe that there was this dynamic coming up and this art coming through with Botanica, and then suddenly Silverbolt was in it, and like, you know,
Hair Razor.
Gary was just going, what's happening with my character? What's happening?
No, that was me.
So, yeah, I know.
What's happening to me?
We never kind of got a flow going on that, and unfortunately, it took so long for anything to start happening in that series that by the time you kind of started to do it, it was no more serious. So, I mean, it's not really the answer that probably to the question that you were asking, but it's I don't know, we didn't know what the heck was going on.
Who's in charge? Oh, here comes the microphone. The microphone is like the original talking stick.
What do you think would happen if there was another Rise of the Beasts and characters like Rampage and Light of Convoy and Big Convoy should follow?
They would probably give the roles to Taylor Swift. We're a celebrity right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have some at the front here.
This one is for Scott and Gary.
Yes.
Otherwise known as Hack and Slash.
Yeah.
Simply put, what happened to Reboot?
And what happened to the reboot?
What happened to the original?
Well enough to know that they actually did a reboot. For some reason, it took the first CG animated TV series ever made, and in the reboot, they decided to do live action.
It's a terrible sequel.
And there you have it. This is what happens when executives and producers say, hey, you know what would be a really good idea? You know, I'm thinking that if we had like live people, and then they sort of went into the computer world, and we kept the same villains, but got rid of the heroes and the comic relief. How would that work?
Yeah, it's not 1937 anymore. We don't do those kind of cartoons. Sorry, that was too soon. That was fun. Hack and Slash, they let Gary and I go to tell. Actually, originally it was even Phil.
Yes, we ad-libbed.
Like crazy. And we just go, okay, you know what? We got it in the can, it's scripted, so yeah, turn on the Hack and Slash machine and go. Okay, that was funny, do something funnier, go. Okay, that was pretty good, do something funnier, go. Okay, one more.
You touch me in a place that makes me feel uncomfortable.
So this one, just piggybacking on
Blue shirt.
Blue shirt.
blue shirt right here.
He's got the mic.
I got the mic.
Oh shit, sorry.
Sorry.
Shoot.
That's the network version.
So you just mentioned ad-libbing. I wanted to ask Sue, did your cast ad-lib a lot during Beast Wars, and did any lines actually make it into the script or into the final version?
I loved when they ad-libbed. There was nobody that ad-libbed more than Scott.
It's because I can't read properly.
Yeah, but I loved giving the freedom to the actors to be able to do that. But I knew that we had to do a take like that, but as written, because what it does do for the animators, it kind of boxes them in if you don't have, if you do that too much, because they just can't animate that. And it messes them up, and then we have to bring them in after it's animated to do the ADR, which is automatic dialogue replacement. Because the animator will go, I am not going to use that ad-lib. I am animating it this way, and then so later we have to bring the actors in to ADR if the budget allows it. You know, so I always like to always do a safe take. Go ahead, do your ad lib, be free as a bird, but give me one as written.
Or the animators just go, you know what, let's put a mask on.
So I had a question about this because we're talking about voice acting, voice directing. Chopperface, Dinobot's thinking from Rat Trap. Where did that come from? Because I'm clueless as to how you would get from a Velociraptor to Chopperface.
I don't think that was something that I created. I think again that was Larry and Bob writing. You know, and when the clues in the script are that powerful and that stuff, it's
Checkboard.
This is the pen. When the clues are in the script, it makes our job very easy. And in subtle clues like that, in simple things like that, because you know, as soon as you're going, okay, I'm not really sure what this character's about. Hey, I just called somebody Chopperface. That tells me a lot about the character that I'm playing. And then you start. The first time, like Silver Bolt, when he came in, they brought in 2 new characters, Quick Strike and Silver Bolt. I read from both, and I was really aiming at Quick Strike. I went, I get it. That's fun. Or the murder kill. I'm not touching that. But then they gave me Silver Bolt. It was surprising. And they were going, we'll just use your voice. I'm going, I have no idea what that is. It was right there. Well, technically, none of this is my real voice. But, and then I said the word citizen. And I don't know if it was in the script or I just said it in the studio and somebody was just like, there he is. All right. And, you know, and suddenly there was this whole paladin, like, you know, dumb but honorable. And so those little clues are invaluable to us. And sometimes the writing just doesn't work. You just read the line, you're like, there it is. There's the character. All I gotta do is make it up. I love writers. I love good ones.
So, you know, one of the phenomenal things about casting is I have sat behind the table with producers and directors casting for my partner or whatever in a TV show or movie, and or a play. I remember doing this audition for a play called Osage Orange County. It's a big play. Anyway, they wanted me to come in and read with 4 or 5 different women, and so I did. And the remarkable thing about those actors when they came on stage is every single one of them brought something unique, something different, and you act accordingly to what they give you, so you react off of them, you know. And then there's this kind of a strange thing with organic casting or organic playing in our animation as well. But I remember a couple of times I'm sitting with producers and I'm saying, I don't know how you're going to choose this person. And this one girl who actually got the part, they said, I don't know, there was a little moment where the vulnerability showed through, like a little beam of light through a dark wall. And I said, yeah? I said, that's the one. And she was the one. And it was really remarkable because she was hilarious. And then on the other side of that coin, I'm doing a big old mini-series many years ago, and I sat with the producers and we were trying to pick a defense lawyer for Farrah Fawcett in a mini-series called Small Sacrifices. And so I'm sitting there and I'm watching all these guys. They're all A-list actors out of Toronto. And they're all really good. And I'm going, I don't know how you're going to choose. Oops, turn me off. No, I don't know. Well, I'll just use my voice. I don't know how you're going to choose. But the guy, Lou Rudolph, who was a producer, he turns around and he goes, honey, calls his wife. His wife comes over, watches the tapes, and she goes, I love that tie. The guy was wearing a bright yellow tie, and she said, I love that tie. And that guy got the job. It's so bizarre, but true. But don't get me wrong. Every one of those actors was fabulous. You could have spun a wheel of fortune and hit on him, and everyone would have done a good job. But she said,
the yellow tie.
But that's how it works. So you just never know. There's always something magical that shines through, like Sue was saying. You know, and like with Scott with his Waspinator voice, and it's just you just look at it and you go, ooh, that's pretty cool. I know I stole a voice for a show called Weirdos. Remember Weirdos?
I played the mechanic. I'll tell you, I like mustard on my French fries. It tastes really good. Take that old sling blade and throw it up there. There you go.
And they went, oh, that's the voice. And I stole it off of the movie Sling Blade.
But
What are your thoughts on Kingdom, and if you were given the chance to voice on it, would you?
The Netflix series.
Netflix
series.
The one that gave Primal big lips.
Okay, yeah, I didn't really know what it was until we started bringing the toys up, and I'm like, excuse me, you can't get the food in And I was upset, I'm like, what's this from? And they're like, oh, it's from, because I'm going, that's kind of love, it's Rat Trap. I'm like, oh, okay, so there's a series. Am I in it? And, yeah, well, kind of, like, Waspinator was voiced by Tom Kenny in another series, and you're like, Waspinator, aren't you really playing that under the sea? But at least, this one, at the risk of throwing shade, because I don't know much about it, but universally the reaction I got from you guys is, Netflix tried to save it, and they hired, and it's like, is it any good? I don't know, they just got some guy who stinks. There's no voice of Bubble Buzz, I don't know, they just got some guy who stinks. It's if you're going to pay $50 a day for voice talent, that's what you're going to get.
That was a non-union show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a non-union show. I remember. Huh? Yeah, it was, because I remember watching it and going, man, you could drive a truck through these lines. But that's just,
They didn't ask me to direct it. About unions.
Yeah. Something else
Unfortunately,
Don't cross the line.
So, they're getting what they're paid for. They don't really care. Should have got Taylor Swift. I didn't know where that came from.
If anybody can get tickets to Taylor Swift, stop McNeil.
My sight hers needs now.
All right, let's give it up for
No.
One more question.
Yeah, we got hands. Who's got a quick question? A very quick question. So there are 1, 2, 3 hands up. Oh, you just snuck it in. How fast can you move that microphone?
How loud can you speak?
I get paid to be loud. Well, there you go.
Give us one thing that you got back from, learned from a character you played.
Waspinator was an idiot. Recently done a lot. I go, okay, that must have come from somewhere. Maybe I'm a little better person than I think I am. That's just kind of cool. Okay, like it.
The one thing I learned was being a dad is really hard.
Using your brains instead of your looks.
Shout it out. There's one in the back, sort of in the back, middle back, directly behind the red, beautiful shirt with the flames on it. So if you turn around, you just look behind yourself to see her.
Hands are back, go.
Go fast.
If you could add an animal from Beast Wars, probably got Maximal Predacon, who would you add?
Who would I add?
Well, like an
You're talking
animal.
to my breakfast menu?
Animal that wasn't in Beast Wars, like not another rat.
I don't think it'd be bloody nice if they had like a kiwi or a kangaroo or some sort.
kangaroo.
I mean, they can play.
Okay, we got two hands.
Oh, we
Okay, you and then you. Go fast. What was the favorite character I ever played? The one that paid the most.
Very quick for Gary. You played Optimus Prime and Primal, I think it was about 5 series.
Yeah.
What was your favorite?
My favorite?
Of the 5. Okay, no question.
And see. All right. So, we got a raffle that we're going to do before you guys leave, and everyone has a ticket that, got a ticket from the door, right? So, let's get this done like real quick because we got to move to our next panel, and we're going to choose 4 winners in this one. Okay? Each one of you is going to pull a ticket and just read the number.
I think these are
old. Wow. Here it comes. I feel it. It's getting warmer. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah. 5, 8, 9, 5, 3, 6.
Hey!
That's the ticket. Come on up.
5, 8, 9, 5, 3, 6. Already?
Yeah, I did.
Uh-oh. So, sponsored by Yolo Park, you get to pick which one you want. All right. And we'll choose, while you're doing that, choose the next number.
That's the new one. Okay, well, all right, I'll try that. Just to spite somebody.
Without my glasses. Under the beat. 5, 8, 9, 4, 8, 4.
There we go.
All right, and the next one.
Yes. Okay.
Red two.
Ready? 5, 8, 9, 4, 7, 0.
Yes! And the last one.
Okay, this is tough. Choose.
Okay, the last one is 5, 8, 9, 4, 8, 8.
Hey, you go!
Now, last one is
We ran out.
which one you want. You get to choose which one you want. Optimus Prime, Optimus Primal, or Bumblebee.
You get to keep Gary.
All righty.
Gary, we got mini golf tonight, all right?
Okay, all our winners.
Oh, we drunk it! We mini
Big man, we need to take photos. And everyone, thank you for coming. Give it up for Venus Terzo.
Oh, hell, Scott.